Welcome back to a Reddit React VOD review. I'm here to evaluate this "Why am I eating so much shit in my last 10 games?" was the post from our summoner here named LaFleur. They're wondering what the hell's going on, why they can't climb in this bronze elo. They were in silver too at peak, which is really awesome. I'm glad you were able to make it to silver at some point, but they seem to have dropped back down to bronze. I'm gonna go ahead and look at some of your games here. Let's see what's going on. I bet you that it's probably something really simple that we can probably fix really easily for you. I normally do coaching nowadays, since I now officially have hit Masters 128 LP. I am looking to start charging for my coaching sessions. I'm not trying to do anything crazy with it, but I know, just kind of trying to value my time a little bit more. But for, just to be courteous and also just out of my own passion for this hobby, I like to do free VOD reviews here and there. I'll look at the Mains Reddit and try to find a post that seems interesting or people that need a little bit of help, especially like in bronze elo or these lower elos. I don't think there's anything that's like crazy that's going to be like mind-blowingly difficult to find out from somebody in these elos. Usually it's like you'll have like one or two really glaring mistakes that you're making every game. That is something you probably could figure out on your own if you really introspect or really did some research, and there's like a lot of free resources out there. So I don't want to, I'm not trying to take your money to get you, if you're trying to go from bronze to silver, for example. Because there's plenty of like free resources out there. There's probably something that's really easily fixable that you just haven't been looking at. Like you're just maybe not looking at the right things. So I'm just gonna find like one or two things that you can work on that'll just push you into that silver territory again. Yeah, free of charge. And let's see. So like you had a pretty good win streak so far these last 3 games, which is awesome. Looks like you're doing pretty good. 7-0. 12-4, you're doing pretty good. So I'm wondering if I should just look at one of these. Like, this is a 40-minute game, and I'm sure there's probably some mistakes you've made in this game particularly. So I actually kind of want to look at a win, because a lot of people will review their wins. They'll just review losses, thinking that's where only their mistakes are. But I guarantee you that there's stuff you're doing that's pattern of habit, that you're also doing in your wins, but you're just kind of getting away with these things. Sometimes luck happens, the enemy team just doesn't punish you for stuff, or maybe the enemy team just kind of runs at you and gives you free bags of gold, right? Even if you are making a mistake. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to discover what's going on here. First of all, whenever you're playing League of Legends, you want to ensure that you have a game plan. Going into the loading screen, let's try to evaluate what we want to do in the game. At this elo, it's really easy to just kind of like take all variants out of the game. Let's simplify it a little bit and just do the same pathing you can do every single game in the early game, because it'll help simplify your game. It'll bring it down to the bare bones where you can easily find things that you're doing wrong. So as a bronze Udyr, or even a silver Udyr, you probably want to do this all the way up to gold. Just path top to bot constantly. Do a full clear from your red buff, your Krugs, your Raptors, Wolves, into Gromp, into blue. Just do that every single game, non-stop, until you get to gold. I swear it'll work. In the games that doesn't work, don't worry about problem solving those games, because they're just not super important for you right now. There are bigger glaring issues, I promise. When you get to gold, then maybe we start then we can like start problem solving those games. But you don't really need to worry about it. I don't know why they must have like messed with the camera and they messed with the camera and made it really weird that you can't like click on people to lock on them in the spectator mode. But anyway, the first things first, think about where it's easiest for you to get kills. I think is like a really important skill to have. Um, as Udyr, you don't really have you don't have super mobility. Like, you have ability, like, that kind of, like, makes you run fast, right? It's like your bear or something. Yeah, you gain movement speed on this stance on E. But for the most part, you don't have, like, crazy gap closers. Like, you don't have a dash or anything. So you're going to want good setup in your lanes. So, for example, this Blitzcrank is a great champion to look out for if he's on your team kind of thing. It's a great champion to gank for because he will obviously be very, very, you know, if he lands a hook, it's really good for you. You can follow up on that. You do have a Mel, which is actually not that bad because she can land a ranged stun on people. So that's really good. And then Caitlyn can follow up with her trap, so that's great. Caitlyn also is very long range, so she can follow up from a pretty long distance as well. So bot lane is also just really good to gank here. You have a Yorick, which his CC is not super reliable, especially since Garen can kind of just like run out of it before it lands on him. So top lane's not super good. I mean, also Yorick can't really follow up on a lot of plays with you because he doesn't have a movement speed boost. He doesn't even have flash right now. So like he's gonna be really hard to gank for. So this is a perfect example of a game where, yeah, we're just going to ignore top and we're just going to path from, you know, red to Krugs to Raptors to Wolves to Gromp to blue. And then we'll open up to the Scuttle Crab or even just like look bot if there's anything to gank for bot. Mid lane is also, this is actually a pretty good game to gank mid lane, but we're not going to worry about that. It's not a big deal, especially as Udyr. Like, if you're playing like Elise, if you're playing like Rek'Sai, or you're playing like something that can really gank at level 3, maybe like a Jarvan or something like that, then this would be a really good game to do a red Krugs Raptors into mid lane. But since you're playing Udyr, I'm not going to worry about that. I think it's totally fine if you just ignore mid lane for the first clear for sure. It's not a big deal. This is just like, I guess I'll just briefly mention it. It's just that this is a very volatile lane. Like, if you look at it, these are melee mid lane assassins, right? So they're going to be very bursty in their kits. They're going to want to like really skirmish each other and like kill each other at level 3. Especially if you see they both took Ignite, they both took Electrocute. They're raring to just like kill each other essentially. So that's going to be a lane you're going to look out for in the future. But again, like I wouldn't worry about it at this elo. Just keep it simple, do a full clear, go to bot lane, it'll get you level 4, it'll keep your early game consistent. And for some reason I cannot click. Okay, I don't know what this Shyvana's doing. I think you would win this, honestly. I'm not sure why she's doing this level 1. I think Udyr wins this. Maybe I'm wrong, but like you should just be attacking her, I'm pretty sure. You have your Q, I'm pretty sure like you just kind of win this. You stat check her. But I guess, like, you don't really know where Locke is at this point in time. So I guess you're kind of weary that you could, like, I would just, like, you know, if you get to the bush and she still chases you, just start smacking her. Because at the end of the day, if Garen or, like, Locke shows up, you just start running away from there. And there's no way they can kill you. Yeah, I would go back. Like, there's no reason to be afraid here. I think you just, like, you kind of got contested out of your top side for no reason. I don't think you needed to be so scared there. So now this is awkward because now you have the path top to bot, or bot to top, which is really weird. I wouldn't want to do this, right? So what you could have done maybe as like an adaptation, if you know she's like doing your top side camps like this, because she pushed you out of your top side, there's no way she had time to walk to her bot side camps, right? Like, you have to start thinking about, like, if the enemy jungler is here, like in the top side of the map, where isn't she? Where isn't the enemy jungler? She's not in her bot side because she can't be. She physically can't be. If she came here and pushed you out of here, like, it's gonna take her forever to get back to her camps if she has to run all the way back here. So what we could do maybe as an adaptation is you could have maybe taken the blue buff and then went into her jungle and take her Raptors, take her red, take her Krugs, and then gank bot. Or even just, yeah, I mean, this is like, I guess that's more an advanced thing. So I'm sorry for, like, giving you too many ideas in your head in the sense, but I think the biggest mistake here, level 1, is just, like, you just kind of were too afraid to contest her. Like, there's really no reason to be that afraid of a Shyvana level 1 when you're Udyr, especially with your Q. I mean, I just feel like you have more damage. You'll probably win that trade if she tries to 1v1 you. And if you see Locke and Garen coming, because you're just like sitting here and you can just see them walking over, yeah, you just run away. But I think you gave up your top side way too easily. Okay, bot lane gave first blood. That's totally fine. Okay, but like we still got our full clear off. We got to our crab. This is totally fine, right? Everything is totally fine. And then we're looking for a top lane gank. I think this is okay. I think this might be a little bit of a waste of time because I don't think Garen actually dies here. He's full HP. He has flash. But let's see what happens. I don't know. I'm not really sure about Udyr's early damage, honestly, these days. So, but yeah, I see what I mean. Like he can't. Yorick is not really easy to like. This is what I was talking about in the early game when I was like analyzing the lanes and what's easy to gank for. For example, like right here. If I slow it down here, so Yorick's gonna try to put his thing down, but Garen can just kind of walk out of it. And if Garen has his Q up especially, then like he's just gonna be able to just Q to get a movement speed boost and get out of it. So you flash forward. Oh, okay, Garen is like actually trying to kill him. It's crazy. Garen could have lived here. Does he still live? Yeah, he still lives. He actually almost killed your Yorick. Like so this gank is just not good, right? Like this was just really low percentage. So your flash was kind of for nothing, really. Because Yorick's not going to be able to... Is Yorick going to be able to keep him off this wave? Oh, he is, because of these creeps. Okay, he's still stuck around, right? So he's still got all of these minions. Yeah. So that gank really didn't do it. It didn't accomplish a whole lot. Anyway, we could have just been to our Gromp a lot sooner if we didn't pull this gank off. And look what's happening in bot lane right now. Like this, maybe you could have actually been to this play if you had not done that gank top. So again, like analyzing what you want to do when the game is when you're loading into the game is really important. It's super important because you can then you can like you end up like not wasting time doing plays like this. Like just all I would want you to do is just to go into the champion select and try to just come up with a reason why you should like just do a top to bot clear or like what lanes you want to gank, you know? Just think about what enemy champions there are in the game or what champions you have. Like if you had a Nautilus, for example, in the bot lane, you definitely want to gank that bot lane because Nautilus is an amazing setup for you. Mel is actually pretty good too, so like in this game is perfectly fine to like argue that I want to gank bot. And now your path is just so weird, because now you have to, like, path the bot to top. This is just so awkward now. I guess you could try to, like, change it up as well. Like, this is actually a good way to, like, think about adapting your clear. Is like, okay, well, the Scuttle's here. What if I did what if I went bot, did Scuttle, did Gromp, then Wolves, and then maybe, like, walked this way to get a ward in the enemy jungle and just try to figure out where Shyvana is, and then loop her back around to bot. And we can just ignore our top camps here. Yeah, because there's nothing to do in top lane right now. I mean, Garen's dead. And you're pathing away from the dragon. Shyvana's going to want to go to the dragon here. So you need to back. But you can't respond to Shyvana ganking bot lane here. Okay, she takes forever, so you're here now. Okay. I wouldn't do blue. Oh, maybe I would. Okay, so if they know Shyvana's here, like at this point, in this freeze frame, since I see Shyvana in the tri-bush, I'd be walking over there. I wouldn't be walking to my blue right now. Okay. Okay, so she backs off, but you know she's in the area. We get level 6. This is dope. Maybe we look mid right now. Instead of looking at the dragon, let's look at mid. This is something that, like, honestly, this is a hard thing to think of, though. I'll be honest, this is like... Even I see plat players and emerald players do this. Like, so this isn't a big deal that you're starting the dragon here. But before you actually make a play on something, like before you want to actually make a play and like start an objective, if you're trying to use like a Rift Herald or something like that, always look at your lane states that you're near. Like, so look at bot and look at mid before you start this dragon, because you don't want to just start this up willy-nilly and then your mid lane just is getting shoved in and say Locke can move to this fight and kill you on the dragon, because that would just be disastrous, right? So right now would be a really good time to go mid, honestly, because like your cat is actually kind of stuck. Like she can't roam to this place. Locke will just kill her, but Locke is also very, very low. Katarina has no ult, has no flash, no ignite. Like, she can't really help you, but this Locke has no flash. If you've been watching mid lane at all, but I'm sure you haven't, and that's fine. Again, like, I wouldn't expect that, but this would just be a great time to, like, maybe you could even ping Mel. Like, Mel is with you. She wants to do, like, a play with you, which is awesome. You could just actually ping your Mel to be like, hey, let's go gank this Locke. Because this is a free kill right here. And if we kill Locke here, we can actually just then do the dragon. So you can actually do both. But freeing up your cat and, like, helping her out here would be really good for you. Okay, your cat lives because the Locke misplay is really bad. So this is an example of, like I was talking about in wins, where you kind of just get lucky because Locke just kind of killed himself. Like, this probably shouldn't happen. Like, he just dives for no reason because the minion wave's coming. If he was just a little more patient, he probably would have been fine. But he just kills himself, so you get lucky. You get the dragon because Shyvana's just... I don't know what Shyvana's doing. She's level 5 and she has all these camps up. So... this is fine. I think you probably could have ran at them a little bit longer because you have, like, Shyvana's weak right now. She's level 5. Shyvana's not a champion that's good until she gets her ultimate. So we definitely could have just kept running at her a little bit. I don't know what the Shyvana's doing. Holy crap. She's griefing her team so bad. I don't know what she's doing, dude. Oh my gosh. She needs to just go hit her camps. It's really funny. Okay, so you just go hit your camps. I think this is perfectly fine. Yeah, we're gonna go do our... yeah, we'll go do the Scuttle Crab. I don't like taking grubs here. So this is something that... it's just a golden XP thing, right? The game isn't won or lost off of neutral objectives a lot of the times, like, contrary to a lot of popular belief in lower elo. The game is won through gold and XP and having tempo advantage. Tempo is... don't worry about that as much, but it's just like how many, like, if you have move over your opponent, like if you can make a move before they can, kind of thing. But this is mainly a golden XP thing. You have 3 camps up. Shyvana has all her camps up. You shouldn't be hitting this. You should be just trying to get as much gold and XP as you can right now. You are sitting at 800 gold. This is about 9, 10. This would be like 1100 gold in pocket. You can recall and spend your gold, which I think is way more important than doing the grubs right here. Because this just takes so long to do. I don't know. You do have Yorick with you, but, like, Yorick is going to miss minions because of this. Like, he's going to miss the cannon. Okay. I guess he didn't miss too much. He missed, like, 3 minions because of it. But I would have rather just done my camps. Like, grubs aren't that big of a deal. I guess they are a little bit more high value because you have a Yorick, but I really don't think it's that big of a deal. You could have done your camps first and then maybe went top. Oh my goodness. That was a really good save by you, by the way. That's awesome. So, like, you're coming here. Garen's trying to dive this guy. That was a really good flash stun. I like that look. Okay, so we're going to recall. We have our Shojin in pocket now. Pretty good. I think, I've heard, like, things about AP versus AD Udyr, and I think AP Udyr is probably superior. I don't think AD Udyr does too much, so I would consider maybe trying to do some AP Udyr if you can. This game, I guess it's fine because you do have an AP mid and an AP support, so I guess maybe it's better to, like, split some of your damage. But I do think AP Udyr is a little better in general. So here, why don't we roam with our Katarina? This is something too, like, you just got out of base, you have time actually, because you delayed your bot camps, like you didn't do them right away. It's because you did what, Gromp, Wolves, and then you ran to the Scuttle Crab and Grubs, right? So you delayed your Raptors and Krug spawn. So this is fine to just not do your Grubs, or not do the Gromp and not do the Wolves. Another reason, if it makes a little bit more sense for you, and this might be easier to remember as well, is that guess what? When you went into base, you bought a completed item. You have a completely finished item on you right now. That is a huge spike. You want to play around that. The fact that you were able to, okay, this is just a bunch of components. This is like a little grab bag of goodies, right? It doesn't really, these aren't like huge power spikes, for example, but then you go back to base, you spent your gold, and you have an entirely completed item. Look at Shyvana's pocket. She has a sheen. She's weak right now. She's really weak. And you have a completed Spear of Shojin. Or Shojin, or whatever. That is huge. So we want to start thinking about this in terms of like, okay, I have so much power on me right now. It's go time. I want to go do something on the map. Because I have an item, and my enemy jungler does not have an item. Jinx, look at Jinx's item pocket. Like, she has nothing right now. Even your Caitlyn has nothing. Your Katarina, though, is huge. She has a completed Lich Bane. She has 7 stacks on her Dark Seal. It's actually go time, right? Let's play with our Katarina. And let's, like, try to make a move. We have our Spear of Shojin in pocket. So instead of just running straight to our camps, let's try to make a move. And we also see right here, like, we have, even if I turn Fog of War off, right, for the enemy team, Katarina has move, and she's positioning to go bot lane here. This is a great time to not smack this Gromp and just go bot with your Katarina. Oh, they get a double kill anyway, which is awesome. But, like, imagine if you're here, this is way more high percentage. Because Shyvana might actually kill her here. Ooh, yeah, this is dangerous, right? Does Katarina win this? No, she gets shut down. So that's 500 gold to Shyvana, which didn't have to happen if you were there. Right? If you would have came down here and helped her dive this and kill the Jinx, Shyvana does not kill her here. And that's a huge deal because Shyvana just got an influx of gold, 500 from Katarina's shutdown. And also the Dark Seal, so she loses Dark Seal stacks. And meanwhile, Locke is hitting tower for free. He gets a plate, he denies minions. Like, this is a really big deal. So this is a big gold swing. I mean, we could even look at it, for example, right here. So what's our gold now? It's 18, we're at like 1800 to 15.9. So you're at like a 2k gold lead. But then after she kills her, Locke gets a plate. I mean, it's almost like they got like 1,000 gold almost there. Like, it's just like, what? If I math this correctly, they have like, they're behind like, they're behind like 2.3 now, about. So, or no, 1.3? Yeah. So it's about 600 gold because Locke was able to get a plate and some minions, or Katarina's not. And then Shyvana got like 500 gold off of that. So it's a big deal. I think that was a pretty big point to make, is like, I think you need to just, whenever, like, just keep in mind, whenever you get an item power spike like that, an item completion, we shouldn't worry about our camps as much. We should try to think about playing with our team on an item power spike. Did you flash? Was this? Oh, that was a Garen flash. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, that is totally fine. I don't really hate that. So yeah, because like we were waiting on our camps to respawn anyway. But again, our Katarina's on the map. Maybe we should start thinking about playing with her because she's really strong. Like at the 11-minute mark, like think about this. Like you have your ultimate, you finished your completed item. It's not super important to be just like power clearing your jungle anymore. Yes, you want to get your mini camps off the map. As Udyr especially, like because you can clear super fast and you keep your economy really going. But it's not as important right now because you have an item power spike, because you already gotten your ultimate, because Dragon's already down, Grubs is down. Like there's not really a whole lot to like worry about tempo-wise. We just want to push our lead at this point. We want to know you have a completed item, your Katarina is really strong. Okay, so we're going to recall here, that's totally fine. We get our boots. Okay, so out of base, we don't need this blue buff that much. We need to start thinking about, okay, this dragon's coming up. Maybe we just force this dragon because we have a winning mid lane. Okay, we're going to do our blue, we're going to do the dragon. Totally fine. I think there's an opportunity to roam with bot and dive bot, but dragon's totally fine. I think dragon is perfectly fine here because, just because of the lane state in mid. It's different from the other scenario from the first dragon because Locke is not in lane here. Katarina is also very healthy, so you don't really need to help her. She's doing fine. Ooh, but then Shyvana shows up. So what are we thinking here? Like when Shyvana shows up, she's gonna try to force this dragon, so we need to we probably can just pull off this dragon and 2v2 these guys with Katarina. Look at this, she's level 10 to Shyvana's level 8. Like, I'm pretty sure you just win this if you just run over and fight them. No, we don't need to be afraid of her. We don't need to be afraid of her, yeah, just go and fight her. You have Katarina. Yeah, you should be with your Katarina right now. Oh, Katarina dies. Oh, this is so bad. Okay. I don't know what you're afraid of. Like, you're really afraid for some reason of this 2v2. We shouldn't be afraid to take this 2v2 at all. I mean, look at Locke's pocket. Like, he doesn't have a finished item. His Sheen is, or his Lichbane is not completed. Your Katarina's is. And Katarina has 5 Darksteel stacks that she loses because of this. So this is a really big game-losing mistake. There's no reason this Locke should have got this kill. And then you die. Oh my goodness. So this is huge. This is actually really big. That was huge. So you lost the dragon. Your Mel dies. You die. Your Katarina dies. This is actually really big. I think your Caitlyn's fine, unless she decides to kill herself. I don't know what she's doing. Yeah, she's trying to kill herself, I think. Okay, Katarina gets up, wastes her ult. So this is just a really big mess. Like, that was just a huge throw on your guys' part. I think I'll probably stop it there, because, I mean, you do win this game. It's 14 minutes. I'm sure, like, you just, at this point in the game, it's more just gonna come down to team fighting and playing around objectives. But I think that's a really big place for you to improve in, is just, like, one, when you're in loading screen, let's think about where we want to path, just because of what, like, the lanes are doing. I would say just make it simple. Like, your first intent should always just be do a top to bot clear all of your camps into Scuttle Crab. If you can do that, get level 4 and recall without dying or anything in the first, like, 4 minutes of the game, or 3 minutes of the game, that is awesome. That's a great first early clear as Udyr. But we, like, there's always that adaptation level. If you start to get spicy, if you want to start thinking about, like, the lane states and stuff like that, like I was saying, like, if top lane is Yorick versus Garen, we don't want to waste time ganking that, because it is just a waste of time, let's be honest. You went up there and flash, and sure, you burned Garen's flash, but honestly, Yorick almost died in that, even in a 1v2. It was just a really risky, low percentage play. So let's just start thinking about where we actually want to gank, like a lane that has better setup than a Yorick, right? We want to think about, oh, well, Mel has a stun, and Caitlyn has really long range, so, like, it's a really good chance that she can follow up really well in a safe manner. So, path top to bot, thinking about what lanes are actually really easy to gank. Whenever you go to make a play, like, for example, like dragon, let's actually just simplify it. Whenever you go to take a dragon, before you go to take the dragon, let's look at mid lane, let's look at bot lane. What is the lane state? Do they need your help? Are they going to be able to help you if like, it's warded or something, right? Like, if you run to start this dragon, is Locke going to be able to roam down and fuck with you? You know what I mean? Like, just start thinking about stuff like that. Whenever you go to take a dragon, just start thinking about that. Like, think about, before you do the dragon, like, who can actually interrupt you on this dragon. And then thirdly, let's play on our item power spikes. Whenever we complete our first item, like, so if you want to continue doing 80 Udyr, go right ahead. You're welcome to. I'm not going to harp too much on it, but I would recommend, like, looking up how to do AP Udyr as well, because AP Udyr is, like, just disgusting. But whatever you complete your first item, your completed first item, like Spear of Sojin, our camp tempo isn't as important anymore, because we have a huge power spike, and we're going to want to look to play on the map with whoever is really strong on our team. So, for example, our Katarina was 3-1 at that point. She had 7 Darksteel stacks. She was big. So, instead of going to our camp and hitting our Gromp, can we make a play with Katarina? And if you start thinking about that a little bit more, I guarantee you'll probably climb to silver, if not even gold. Hopefully that helps, and hopefully it wasn't too confusing. In the free VOD reviews, I do like to try to give as much info as I possibly can, and then give you kind of like a game plan of, like, things you should focus on. So some of the stuff that I've said in this recording might actually apply to you as much, at least not right now. But the main things that I told you at the end of this are just, like, the main objectives that you should focus on, and I hope those really help. All right. if you want anything more, just reach out to me. Let me know. And I really hope to see you in silver, maybe even gold at some point. Good luck.